All right, welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt, Knost, and Drew Stoltz. The West Coast swing is in the books, and surprise, surprise, Ludwig Åberg wins the Genesis Invitational. But before we get to that, Sleaze, I want to talk about our partnership with Fanatics, the best sports book in all the land, because when you bet, you win or you lose. But with Fan Cash, that's not exactly true anymore. With Fanatics Sportsbook, you earn Fan Cash back on each bet, win or lose. Fan Cash unlocks the world of Fanatics. Flip it into bonus bets, new team apparel on Fanatics.com, and so much more. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app and start earning Fan Cash today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut residents call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts residents call 800-327-5050. New York residents call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland residents visit mdgamblinghelp.org. And we're going to update you later on our season-long race, which we both got shut out this past week.
I'm coming out the gate slow, little 0 for 2. Shout out Fanatics, though, friend of the caddy. And we'll say this, though, on good hits of the week. The Super Looper Invitational champion, one of the two, Michael Cromie, they get $3,000 in deposits from Fanatics for winning that event. Put it all $3,000 on the coin flip of the Super Bowl. Tails, chicken, had a video of it, sent it to me. Shout out him. Just turned it into 6. I need to start betting more coin flips. Yeah.
That away.
Yeah.
The good news
golf
is
props are too tough.
We didn't lose any money on football this week.
That is good news. Officially hot. Not losing is hot.
We are all about positivity around here.
Of course.
Well, I don't think anybody else saw what was coming, but Sleaze and I did because, for a long time, we've been all about this Ludwig Åberg guy.
Under the radar type guy. You got to really uncover some stones.
But what a performance, man. I was out there for the weekend for CBS. Torrey Pines was playing brutal. The rough, shout out to everybody at Torrey Pines for growing the rough. I don't know if Tiger had anything to do with this, what it was, but the rough was nasty. It played extremely difficult. I love the setup around there. And we had a hell of a field. And we had a lot of guys in contention going into the weekend. Scottie Scheffler in the final group. Roy McIlroy in the next to last group. Ludwig right there. I was like, this is going to be a battle for the ages. I did not see Patrick Rodgers and Denny McCarthy being the final pair on Sunday.
I had a soft spot in my heart for Denny McCarthy just because he's such a good dude. I love it. His game is relatable. It's not Rory. Oh, I'm going to fly it over that bunker that's 330 out there. He plays like normal guy golf. Such a good dude. Caddy's a great guy as well. And I was like, man, for him to get a win at a place like Torrey, which is like kind of the antithesis of a place where he would win, I was rooting hard for Denny. I hope he gets one soon because he's been around the hoop a lot.
He was great, man.
But that's a good golf course setup, dude. We had bombers, we had the big names, we had some of the smaller names too, if you want to call them that. There's no real small names in these signature events anymore, but you know what I mean. Got guys that are on the front page of the betting boards, and a lot of it was because of that golf course setup. So props to them. Yeah, it's fun to see some penalty out there when they miss.
Yeah, you had to hit fairways. The rough was crazy. I mean, we saw guys struggling from 115 yards to get the ball on the green. It was awesome to watch. I think Denny's first win is coming. His game just continues to get better and better. But Ludwig, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you're just anointing this guy the next superstar. He's only won once. It was the RSM Classic. No, we can see it. It is different. He's a generational talent. There's a reason he was on the Ryder Cup team before he ever played a major championship. Everyone knows how good this guy's going to be. Is he going to win 10 majors? I don't know, but I know he's got the ability to, and he's got the game to. If that caddy doesn't hold him back, he'll be just fine.
Just stay out of the way, say good shot over and over.
But one interesting thing with Ludwig that we didn't get across on the broadcast, and I wish we would have. I was actually with his group to start before moving to Maverick McNeely, who was on a heater, and then didn't get to finish up with Ludwig before he ended up getting the win. But he played a different driver head on Sunday than he did the first 3 days. Just been struggling a little bit with it. His misses aren't what he's wanted. He went back to an old one that I know he has confidence in and he likes. Started out a little rocky. Like I said, we basically went away from Ludwig because he was 5 shots back at one point. And then all of a sudden, he gets to the back 9, which is brutal. I mean, anything can happen on that back 9. And he birdies 13, 14, 15 after clutch par save on 12. And then the birdie on the 72nd hole. Just a thing of beauty, man. The guy's the real deal. And it looks like it's just a walk in the park out there for him. He's just having fun, talking to Joe and laughing the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, when Joe took that bag, I think, like I said, look, for the next 10, 15 years, if you're going to pick a bag and say who has the highest ceiling in that time frame, I think it might be Ludwig. And like the whole golf world's been on him. I don't know if he's a superstar in the making or if he's a superstar already, but God, watching him, like, we know when Scottie goes, very few people, if any, can hang with him. Ludwig may be entering that conversation at this point. Scottie, by the way, while we're talking about him, 76 on Saturday, missed a ton of little short baby putts, ends up losing by 3. Like, legitimately had a chance on the 72nd hole if he makes that eagle putt.
66 on Sunday.
And he hadn't even come close to clicking yet. Last thing on Ludwig that I love, and I hope this guy continues to play in the final group and continues to win, the pace in which he plays golf and the decision making, just quick and fast. Like this, the putt he had on the 72nd to win the tournament, he hit it faster than a lot of guys would hit a putt for par on Thursday morning out there. He just steps up there and does it. It is a breath of fresh air. He's fun to watch for a lot of reasons. And like Tiger said, it's hard to see where, like, what can go. It can't get too far out of whack with that golf swing.
When Tiger compliments your golf swing, you know you're doing something right. But as far as the pace of play goes, look, we've talked about it on here. Every show in the world, golf show in the world's talked about it. Dottie Pepper has called him out. The players are listening, and I know they wanted to be better. I will give y'all a huge round of applause for what happened at Torrey Pines. It was awesome, the pace of play that the guys played at. I was in the next last group on Saturday. Rory McIlroy, Denny McCarthy turned in an hour and 54 minutes on the front end. I know it's twosomes, and it does move faster, but the guys are starting to hear the message, I believe, and they really picked it up. And I just want to listen. If you're going to criticize them, you got to give them credit when they do things right. And
Agreed.
I thought it was awesome on the weekend.
Twosomes, they moved. That's not a golf course that you'd think would be played quick anyways. I'll tell you this, though. Thursday was spectacular with the shit weather. That was extremely – I feel like we got a nice little dose on the West Coast of guys actually, like, having to grind out a round of par. I mean, Ludwig shot 74 first day, still come back and win. And by the way, if it wasn't for that sickness that he got after the first round of the Farmers where he shot 9 under, he might have been back-to-back at Torrey. That place seems to suit him pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, we had Joe Scovern on our SiriusXM show, and I mean, they have people that break down all these numbers, and statistically, like Torrey Pines is probably the best golf course on the PGA Tour for him. You got to hit it long, you got to hit it straight, test all facets of your game, and he's a stud, man. In my opinion, a future world number one. Him and Scottie could have some epic battles this year. I sure hope we see that at least, but congratulations to him on his second PGA Tour win. There's going to be a lot more in the future. Also want to give a shout out to Joaquin Neiman, who won down at Live Adelaide. Crazy crowds down there.
Little 65 piece the last day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Firm, bouncy. I watched a little bit of it. There's
Golf
a
in
lot of people
Australia
out
is
there.
sick.
It's so good. I don't know why they don't do Live, PGA Tour, whoever, more golf in Australia. They show up. They love it. The golf courses are spectacular. It just looks so good. So good down there. Love seeing that type of golf.
And with your accent, you'd fit in perfectly.
Oh my God, are you out of your brain? I'd never come back.
Yeah. I thought you'd
They'd
give us
adopt me probably.
thought you'd give us a little Aussie accent right there.
Yeah, good on you there, mate. Hey, just having a little bit of Foster's
It's the same
here.
thing every time.
Just having a bit of a Foster's there. You know what I mean? Going to go out of shape a few.
All right. Well,
Pretty good.
Okay. So, since you're done with that,
Pretty good.
Let's zone in.
Yeah, dude. Let's zone in.
Because one thing we want to talk about here, first off, shout out to Zone Nicotine. I know you're a big fan of
Best
it.
pouches in the game, 6 milli, 9 milli, whatever your flavor, get it with Zone. They treat you right.
They got it all. And also, you need to go check out our video with Zone with Kyle Busch going through the sand hills, which some of us came out a little cleaner than others at the end of it, but it was a hell of a time. The video is out now on all of our socials. Go check that out with our ride with Kyle Busch over with Zone. But let's zone in right now. And
I know where we're going.
Basically a golf/hockey podcast.
Correct.
And what's going on in hockey right now is fantastic. I've always been a big hockey guy. You're starting to lean into it a lot now.
I leaned in hard this past weekend.
Yes, this Four Nations face-off, which there hasn't been one since 2016, up in Montreal, consists of the United States, Finland, Sweden, and Canada. Okay, little round-robin tournament to see who's going to win it all. And on Saturday night, up in Montreal, U.S. faced Canada, and whenever those two hockey games, this is all stars from the NHL filling out these four squads. Some of them might be teammates, but when it's U.S. versus Canada, there's a lot of hate in the air.
It's beautiful.
I mean, the fans were booing the United States national anthem.
I like it. Just good hate match. We don't have enough of those anymore.
And the hate started right away. We had 3 fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. The Kachuk brothers dropped the gloves right out of the gate. They are hilarious, by the way. I love those guys. They're animals. You got Brady and Father Keith and Matthew, who's a Stanley Cup champion with the Florida Panthers. They drop the gloves right away. They're both in the penalty box together, high-fiving up. Then all of a sudden, another third fight at the 9-second mark. U.S. goes on to win 3-1, and we potentially have a rematch coming Thursday night. Thursday night for the Four Nations face-off title. Could possibly have a rematch of United States versus Canada. U.S. is already in. As we're filming this right now, the puck has dropped between Canada and Finland. Got to wait and see who wins that.
We just need Canada to win, correct?
Yes.
For them to be back.
And oh my God, can you imagine? Let's run this thing back.
I think there's some weird scenario where we could tank, and if their game plays out a certain way, they could not get in. But for the sake of all of us enormous hockey fans out there, let's run that thing back. I didn't know shit about Four Nations. I didn't even know what the hell it was. Like, is this like a miniature Olympics? What is this thing? Learned as it went on, but I saw all the people tweeting about it. I turned on. Saturday nights have opened up now with no football being played. I got there during the national anthem. Heard all the stuff, and I watched an entire hockey game for the first time in ages.
Yep.
And I knew from the first 9 seconds, I was like, Jesus Christ, God bless
awesome.
hockey, dude. Not only do they let this happen, like it's encouraged almost. It's the best. Keep it going. Run that thing back in Boston. It would be sick.
Yeah, I was going to say, so this game that we're talking about was in Montreal. The last 3 games of the Four Nations face-off moves to Boston. So Canada, going to be the road team. Could be a lot of fun, but we will be zoned in on that final on Thursday night. And special thanks to Zone Nicotine for sponsoring Subpar. All right, let's get to some picks.
You think the boys went to Chez Paris after the dub?
I don't know.
Got a piece of the
It's your
buffet.
place. They ask about you?
A little piece of the buffet. Good food.
Let's get to our Fanatics favorite bet of the week. We got the Mexico Open at Vedanta. Not the best field in the world. Let's be honest. Jake Knapp is your defending champion. Akshay Bhatia is a pretty big favorite. He's at 14-1. Busy West Coast swing. We've had 2 signature events in the last 3. So a lot of the big dogs taking the week off. But this is a great opportunity for some guys to either revamp their career or get their career going down in Mexico. Really cool golf course. It's a bomber's paradise. Last week didn't go well for either of us. I took Harris English to top 10. He finished 24th. Let me down a little bit, Harry. But that's okay. I'm still positive for the year. I'm up $40.
I'm starting off the year slow, as I tend to do. Took Thomas Gentry coming off the brilliant display at TPC Scottsdale. Finished second to last. Made the cut, by the way.
Yeah, he didn't finish second last. He made the cut.
Cut event, which, why are we doing this? I don't understand. If the whole point was like, stars play the whole time, and then here they're gone. I don't know. 18 guys missed the cut. Gentry did play the weekend, but 53rd, I believe. So just outside that top 20 spot. Maybe should have. That bad weather on Thursday killed him.
All right.
He's probably hungover.
It's time to bounce back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
Let's get to it. And this is going to be interesting because I believe we're both taking the same guy, but with different bets.
Which won't happen often. So most likely. This is a super slam right here.
He's a PGA Tour winner. Okay. He has played this event all 3 years at Vedanta. All 3 years, top 25. T3 last year. Absolutely smashes it. In my opinion, I couldn't believe the odds. He's like the 10th betting favorite, which shocks me because I think he's one of the best players in this field. But I'm going Steven Yeager at plus 330 to top 10, staying with my top 10 bets.
I like the bet. If I wasn't on an 0 for 2 schneid to start the year, I'd probably lean into that top 10, maybe even higher. This is how much I believe in Stevie this week. But being that I just need to put a dub on the board, I'm going to scale it back to top 20, which is still plus 150, which with that field, I'm kind of shocked that that's as much plus money as
There's something going on we don't know about with Yeager.
It's possible. But he's sending it ever since he gained all the distance off the tee. It's kind of like that's been the start of his resurgence. Hardly ever misses a cut. Makes a lot of birds. Good recipe.
All right. Well, we're both rooting for Yeager this week. So make sure you go download the Fanatic Sportsbook app so you can join Sleaze and I on our season-long contest and make some money off Steven Yeager, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully is right.
Well, our guest this week made him a little money, made him some cash over at the WM Phoenix Open as possibly the last Monday qualifier ever into the WM Phoenix Open. We got Will Chandler joining us on Golf Subpar.
All right, folks, we got a PGA Tour rook with us here today who just had himself a hell of a week. Monday qualified into the WM Phoenix Open after shooting minus 15, ends the week in T6, including a final round 66 alongside world number 1 Scottie Scheffler. Will Chandler is in the house. Willie, thanks for joining us, bud.
Thanks for having me. Love the show.
Man,
Hell of a
congratulations
week.
on a great week, Will. You know, I was out there walking with you momentarily when you were playing alongside Scottie on Sunday, and we had a little football talk going up the 13th fairway, and it hurts me that you were actually rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I know. I knew you were a Cowboys fan, but kind of tired of the Chiefs, and the Eagles have all the Georgia players. So
Yeah.
what was I supposed to do?
Fair point.
They
fair
got like
point.
half their
I'll
team
allow
is
it.
Georgia, it feels like. I assume you're a big like Falcons. Is that your team that you pull for?
Yeah, I guess I root for them. I mainly college, mainly the dogs. I mean, or the dogs players in the pros. You know how us Georgia guys are. We love college ball, but I love it all. I watch a lot of NFL as well.
Give me your top few favorite dogs of all time. Can be any
Football
sport, by
players?
the way. It can be football, basketball. I figured you'd go football though.
Oh yeah. Um, well, in my time, Todd Gurley for sure. Roquan Smith,
Mm-hmm.
he was a beast.
Did he go to Chicago?
He played in Chicago for a little bit, and
Sleaze, I was at Tommy Kane's one night, and this dude walks in. He's obviously bigger than everybody else, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's Roquan Smith." I'm like, "Yeah,
Nice
makes
to
sense
meet
now.
you. What do you do, Mr. Smith?
he's awesome. He was so good at Georgia, and still is. He's on the Ravens now. He's a beast.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. What about Stetson? And you got to have a little love for
Yeah,
Stetson. I mean, just the
he's
unsung
awesome.
hero.
I mean, he's fast too. Like people don't understand how fast he is when he would play, he could run around like crazy.
yeah.
Give me your game day preparation, okay? We got Saturday morning. You wake up. What do you do
Oh
leading in
gosh.
to the Georgia football game?
Well, what time's the kick?
Okay, let's just go
Good
with
question.
the 2:30 SEC game.
Okay.
It might be 3:30 Eastern. I don't know. I don't do the time
Probably
zone.
probably had a good time the night before, so sleep in a little bit. Maybe eat a chicken biscuit or something, and then go right to a tailgate, like late morning, and just go tailgate, bars, tailgate, go into the game, leave the game downtown, and
Back to the bars.
yeah. Get amongst it a little bit for
There
sure.
you go. I like
What are we
everything
sipping
I'm
on?
hearing so far. Everything.
A light beer,
Okay. You should throw out what kind, and you
maybe
never
some
know. They might,
Tito's or something.
if you throw out these brands, you never know. They might reach out, send
Yeah.
you a little shipment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Corona Light's always good.
There you go. Do any of the golfers throw their own tailgate?
Some of the former guys, I don't think any of the tour players do, but
Who we got?
some of the I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like I have some family friends that have tailgates and stuff, or usually we all convene at a bar or something. I haven't been to a game in a few years in Athens, which is not thrilling to me. I've been to Georgia, Florida, and the SEC championship, but since I haven't been to a game, I don't think since I was in college in Athens. So I hope I can make one this year. The home schedule's pretty good.
Yeah, y'all schedule's always pretty good. I actually did get smoked on air a few years ago because at the Tour Championship, after we got a lot of rain, I said these greens are softer than the Georgia football schedule, and the people in Athens didn't like that one too much.
Actually, I've seen a
gotta
Georgia
ask,
football
please,
game.
how's TCU looking?
Here we go.
Have y'all recovered from that game a couple years ago?
I was gonna wait a little while to ask you about that and feel like if y'all felt the same way,
Jumping right in.
I did. We were 1 quarter away from flipping that whole shit on its head, dude. We were just starting to figure y'all out there at the end of the fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a Georgia football game more recently than you. I actually only saw half of that game because I did in fact go out there, and the guy that was providing the ride looked around at halftime when that shit was over and just went like this, and I said, "Okay, well, we're a second half team, but it was actually pretty good that we got out of there." But that was hurtful. Well, if I'm being honest, I didn't expect to necessarily win the game, but I didn't expect it to be that.
What was the final? Just to refresh everyone's memory.
No one remembers. It was like 28-24, I think.
Well, go ahead. What was it?
65-7.
Yeah.
Man.
That 7, though, we got that 7 early. Got
What
that
a game
goose
that
egg
was.
off the board.
Let's
God,
talk
that was bad.
about this past week, Will. Just an unbelievable week for you. Obviously, rookie year on the PGA Tour, coming off a crazy 2024 where you Monday qualified your way onto the Korn Ferry Tour 4 times and then proceeded to get into Q School, got your card through there. But then this week, obviously missed first 2 cuts of the season, not how you really wanted to get going, but you go out and you Monday qualify, which we've all done it. Those Monday qualifiers are not fun. They're so difficult. You can play great and not make it. What was your mindset going into that Monday qualifier? And when you finished, did you think you did enough to get in?
Going into it, I played a practice round. I knew the course, what was it, Pinnacle Peak. You know,
Yes,
you're going to
sir.
have a lot of scoring opportunities out there, reachable par fives, wedges. So I figured it would be a low number like most Mondays. So I was swinging well, and um, I I played aggressive, you know, as you should in a Monday, and took on some flags and hit driver a lot, and very much playing golf. Probably a little more aggressive than a 4-day event, but played well. And when I finished, I was like, ooh, you know, I don't know if it's going to hold up. You never know in those things. People, I came in at 7. There were some groups left, and I'm like, someone will probably come in at 8. I'll be in a playoff at best, and all this stuff. So I was kind of putting around, hitting a few balls, trying to stay loose for about an hour, but it was good enough, and I was pumped to get into the waste management. And um, what a tournament that is. That's awesome. I mean, Drew and everyone, all the Thunderbirds do a great job, and that was a blast last week. Even if I played bad, it would have been awesome.
Can I ask you a question, Will? Because we spoke actually before the Monday qualifier, even, and then after you Monday qualified as player liaison this year. Did you feel adequately liaised for the week?
Yeah,
just like a performance
Drew.
review. Okay, I just
Don't
want to make
lie. We're honest on this show.
No, I was taking care of the boys. Had Willie dialed up. I was so glad that you got through. By the way, you may go down in history too as the last ever Monday qualifier at the Phoenix Open, which sucks, but. You know, you could be a trivia
they're not
question.
having the qualifier next year, huh?
Yeah, which is devastating.
So Phoenix Open is going to be one of those fields that goes to 120. And so any field at 120 or smaller will not have a Monday qualifier. And it's horrible in my opinion. It's called the People's Open, and normal people are supposed to be able to have a chance to get into it. I hate it, but what a way, if it does go out, what a way to go out to have a guy finish in the top 10, thanks to you.
And the course the qualifier was at was great. Pinnacle Peak. I don't know if y'all played there.
Oh yeah.
And they treated it like a tour event. You know, some of these Mondays it's like, you know, they don't really want you to be there, but you know, they had a lot of people out there. They had like some area reserved for dining. I mean, it was awesome. Pinnacle Peak.
They do it right. That was probably all Denny Pelly.
No question. He doesn't know who that is, but we're just shout out to our boys, a member out there who runs the show.
Yeah. But for the people that don't know you that well, talk a little bit about like your journey to get to professional golf, because obviously you went to Georgia, which is a powerhouse. You weren't one of the top players there at the University of Georgia, and then you worked your way through the professional ranks. Like I mentioned, last year was crazy, but just talk about your whole journey to get to where you are right now.
Yeah. Certainly was not one of the top players on our team. I mean, we had some great players, guys, you know. But I love the game so much. I wanted to do it, and you know, whatever you want to call it, and you know, give it a shot. I don't like saying that, but I wanted to turn professional and give it 110%. And I feel like I've you know done it as good a job as I can the last few years in doing that, and really dedicated myself. Started, you know, worked with a couple new guys that helped me, and it's clicked. And just really going after it 110%. Whatever, if I have to go play Monday anywhere, I'll play it. You know, go, you know, played some mini tours, played Canadian Tour, but you know, treat that like my PGA Tour at the time. You know, and prepare as well as I can, and get there, do my practice round, and it's not glamorous, but I love golf so much that I enjoy all that.
Before we get back to our episode with Will Chandler, you got to head over to fairwayjockey.com and pick up some of our very special Birdie Juice line from Swag Golf. This stuff is sick.
Shout out to the boys over at Swag Golf. We got towels, we got head covers, we got putter covers, whatever you need. Good time. Check it out. Fairwayjockey.com. Get correct.
Yeah.
Get correct for the golf season.
We'll have links on all of our socials. Now back to Will Chandler.
Yeah, and in the last year or so, Will, that's kind of where you've taken the big jump, and you mentioned a couple things you changed there. Can you put your finger on one thing that led to just this kind of increase in your play? Is it a swing change or something that your new coach said, or is it a mental thing, or is it just a matter of just grinding it?
You know, all of the above, really. There's no one thing that clicks in golf and you can just take off. Maybe there is, but not for me. Practicing a little better, a little more efficient, getting my fundamentals and fundamentals better. I don't know, just getting into my first Corn Ferry event, then that gives you a little bit of confidence, and then you get in another one, and you start doing okay in those, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I got to work on X, Y, and Z, but you keep inching along, plugging away, and eventually, at the end of the year, I'm like, oh dang, I got a tour card. Like, this is awesome. Let's keep doing this and see where I am at the end of this year.
Yeah, it's such a cool story, and it all led to Sunday afternoon. I have to go back to Saturday night. You make your first cut. Saturday night, you get that text from the tour with your tee time, and you're right there with world number one, Scottie Scheffler. What was going through your mind when you found out you're going to be teaming it up with the number one player in the world?
I was like, dang, I'm playing with Scottie. He won a million times last year.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know your ball.
It was cool, and I had never met him, or Cam Young was also in our group, and I don't think I'd ever met him either. And they were awesome, obviously great players, and they seemed like great people too. So it was good. We're very much doing our own thing, me and my caddy. So I didn't talk to them a bunch, but they were great.
Yeah, and I mean, you've downplayed it. You've been asked about that final round 66 with Scottie, and as much as you like to do that, I got to think the amount of confidence that gives you, not only to shoot 66 in the final round at that golf course in front of that crowd, but also with world number one. I mean, I would think, are you at as high a confidence level as you've ever been since you turned pro?
I don't know. It's definitely a step in the right direction for sure. Yeah, definitely build your confidence and keep that rolling and all of those things. But regardless of who I would have played with, it was a solid week. But playing with Scottie was great. The crowd was chanting Scottie the whole time, so that was funny.
It's different when you're with
as
world
they
number
should,
one.
right?
Yeah, as they should.
He's the
best in the world. What he's doing right now is unreal. But I love to ask the rookies. Obviously, going through there on Tuesday or whatever is one thing, and I'm talking about 16, the Coliseum. But once you get there, Thursday, Friday, and then especially Saturday, when the place is jamming, what were the nerves like? What was the adrenaline like when you teed it up on 16?
Well, I had adrenaline Tuesday because I showed up Tuesday and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never seen this many people on a Thursday at a tour. I mean, I've only played a few, but I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so many people here. Can't wait to see Thursday to Sunday. And definitely, you hit the shorter club on 16 and all these things, but that hole's great. I feel like I was at a football game, but I'm, got to go hit a golf shot real quick.
How'd you do on it for the week? Any highlights or lowlights?
Parted every day. I would have loved to have made birdie and got the crowd going, but I got booed a little bit the last day because I hit it on the fringe, which I thought was a fine shot, pin high right, 30 feet on the fringe, and they were booing me. I was like, dang, tough crowd.
Yeah, tough.
Over the last few years, they've gotten to the point now where even if you hit the green, if you're 40 feet, they boo you. It's like they expect you to stuff it every single time.
And it's really loud on the green because I don't know who they are, but all the students or whatever who are getting real rowdy are right there on the green. So it's pretty loud putting, which is interesting. I've never putted that loud before.
Yeah, that GA section right there by the green gets that thing going. I
want to go hang out in the GA section next year.
You can. By the way, you make a lot of friends. They would love you if you come back up there. I think a couple people did come back to 16 actually to watch a few of their boys, but you show up there next year, you make a lot of new pals.
That tournament looks like a blast to attend.
It hurts. It's fun, but it hurts.
Take it from me. Yeah.
I restarted on Saturday morning. Finished my second round, and I'm on 17 tee, and it's early, 7:30 or something, and they're going nuts on 16 already. And one of the, I think he was a Thunderbird or something. He comes down to the tee. He's like, let me know when you're about to tee off. I'll cut the music off. And I'm like, nah, don't worry about it, dude. Like, it was, they weren't going to see a group for 3 hours, and they were going nuts already.
Dude, first guys, please 2:30 a.m.
2:45. Right? They started line. We got messages. There's some people that have to show up and do that job. Thank God I don't have it. They're getting videos. 2:45. First people start showing up to line up to get in line to get to 16, which is
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's still people probably stumbling out of the bird's nest with the music. You know what I mean? At that time, you could just cruise right over there, catch a nap, and go to 16. But I thought, like, I know it's your first time playing Phoenix Open, but experience-wise, crowd was loud, crowd was good. But was there any weird stuff going on, or do you kind of thrive in that sort of environment?
I guess I've only been in that environment once, and I did okay. Mm-hmm. I loved it. The crowd was great. I didn't see anything, crazy going on, but I hit it in the crowd on 9, and I was dropping off the cart path, and I took my driver out to drop, and obviously, you're hitting a wedge on the green from there or whatever, and they're like, hell yeah, hit the big stick. And I'm like, all right, guys, relax.
You get some good chirps.
I think everyone was having a good time. It's great. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the best weeks of the year, in my opinion, on the PGA Tour. Thank God it's not every week, but once a year, to be different, to be that crowded, to be that rowdy, I'm all here for it.
Well, I think it'd be pretty cool for it to be almost every week like that.
Sleaze, you should run every tournament.
Yes.
So it's like that every week.
Yes,
Colt
that's what I'm looking for.
That's
what I'm looking for. I would just die. I mean, dude, I feel like it takes 5 years off my life expectancy every year. So if I do it one season, it'd be the end of me.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do, Sleaze. I'm going to give Chance a call and tell him how much you really want that early morning Saturday, crowd control, 2:45 a.m. Then you can go and take a nice little afternoon nap and be rested up.
I could just cruise right over from the bird's nest. Yeah. Be right there.
Where's the bird's nest?
It's the big, huge tent across the. You probably didn't make your way there because you were playing the weekend. Some of the boys that end up on Friday and are done end up coming, making their way in there on Saturday. But that's where all the music, Jelly Roll, Luke Bryan, all the acts that come through perform over there. Nickelback in the house. Are you a Nickelback? You may be too young. What do you know about Nickelback, Will?
Not much.
There you go.
I did see where Jelly Roll was late to his Pro-Am tee time.
Yeah, he showed up on like the third hole.
Yeah, showed up just a little late. Jelly Roll's not a morning guy.
He's on Rockstar time.
Yeah. Will, as we're recording this right now, I believe you're back home in Sea Island. Is that correct?
I was. I'm actually up in Atlanta. I'm working with my coach today and tomorrow up here at TPC Sugarloaf, and then going to Mexico.
Okay, love that. Well, I know you live down in Sea Island, and
yep.
From what I've been told, and I'll give him a little shout out. Your assistant coach at Georgia, Jim Douglas, had a nice little talk with him. Who, by the way, I'm a big fan of his. Tells me you're not scared of some action on the golf course. You like to get involved in the money games. Tell us a little bit about the games down there at Sea Island.
They're great. Doug's a beauty. Yes. The games are good. I feel like I haven't. They're not like anything too organized, but you see a guy at the course. Hey, you want to play tomorrow? Yeah, no, whatever. So, and there's a lot of tour players there. So, we play with each other and practice. Grayson Sig did get in my pocket pretty good, so I got to get him back. But they're awesome. Patton's fun to play with. Everyone down there is great to play with, and there's definitely some action going on. Some good action.
I love Grayson Sig. Yeah, I like to say he's the only guy on the PGA Tour that actually looks up to me. He's a little fella.
More eye to eye, probably. Is there like a set game y'all have? Do you always play the same game, or do you just play indies? What do you guys do?
No, nothing set. I'll play anything. I'm probably more known for pressing than most, because if I get down, I start pressing.
Respect.
As you should. Well,
Yeah.
you got a little more cash in the pocket after this past week, so you can press all you want. I believe Trevor, actually just had lunch with Trevor Immelman. He told me before last week, your biggest paycheck in professional golf was $54,000. This past week, over $300,000. I mean, what was it like when you saw that hit the bank account, and you got anything nice picked out?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not buying anything crazy. That's nice. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the money's great, but I love the game so much that I don't get too caught up in that. As long as I have enough money to play and practice and travel, I'm good.
Love that.
You could get Kashmir to help you. He's a good like buying
Yeah.
consultant. You know what I mean? He'll dial you up with the nicest shit.
Maybe we'll get a watch or something.
Yeah, get you some loafers, something Gucci, something from Italy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good one.
I'll pick his brain about that.
Well, we'll get back to him here in a little bit. But Sleaze, you want to go to the E9, or you got anything else?
I gotta go. I'm gonna ask you this question because it'll probably be a similar one in E9. But give me the most dangerous guy at Sea Island to play money. Like, who's the guy? Like, this dude seems to win all the time. We have a couple at the Rock. I would say historically, like these two guys win the most. Who is it down there?
JT Poston.
Oh, the postman.
He got me pretty good one time. He's obviously a great player, but he can get it going. His iron game's real good. He usually hits a flag or two around when I play with him. So he can be lethal.
Yeah, that putter ain't too bad either.
Yeah, everything's pretty good.
Yep, love that. We'll get to who's the easiest money here in a little bit. So let's get to the E9.
Nobody.
Okay, I'll change that question up a little bit, but we asked this to everyone, Will. Oh, but let's back this up real quick, because I did hear you're big into podcasts. You listen to a lot of podcasts. Where does ours rank amongst this? Are we
it's
top
up there
25?
for sure.
Oh wow, this is a tough.
Yeah. Oh,
We
probably
making
top
college
five.
football, making college
Top
football
five.
playoffs?
Especially out of football season, 1 or 2, I would say.
Oh, God bless you. And new favorite player
the
of the
McAfee
program
one's up there though.
he's good.
Yeah,
He's good. There's a lot of good ones out there, but goddamn, we love you, Will.
Yep.
Love you
I
back,
love hearing
buddy.
that.
Love you back.
All right, let's do the E9 here. You could be anybody else for a day. Anyone in the history of time, who would it be?
Oof. I'll be Kirby Smart when we won that first natty against Alabama. That had to be a pretty good day.
You are a Georgia boy.
If I could be anyone for a day, it'd be Kirby Smart, and I'd go back and tank that shit in
Get
LA.
the monkey off his back, man.
Oh man,
That's great.
you're a real fan. True.
Yep.
Yeah.
True dog. True. Are you married?
No.
All right, let's ask him the other one then. Not that it matters if you're married, anyways. But celebrity crush. Who you got? You get to bring one nice lady to the tour championship with you this year. Who you bringing?
Oh, Margot Robbie.
Oh yeah, you got to get in line, dog.
Yeah, it's a long line, and now she's a mom.
Jeez.
No.
You got a better
God.
chance right now than you did last week, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But there's a few other
She might
Vine.
need a green jacket or something though.
Yeah, she'd look good in that, wouldn't she? All right. I'm looking forward to this one here. I've been told of it on good authority that you're an impressionist. You can do a lot of impressions. Okay, we got Trump, Barkley, George W. Phil's in the mix. I want you to pick your best one. Actually, you're probably gonna end up doing all of them, but just pick your best
Do them
one
all.
and give it to us right
Do
now.
them all.
After a couple beers, I'm much better.
I believe that.
My fellow Americans.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. We are putting you on the spot here. It's a little tough.
Because I thought he was, and he is. He's so funny. So Ernie, that was terrible. I tell you what, they just can't play any defense.
That's it.
Everyone impersonates Barkley. I love it.
I know, he is so funny too.
He's the greatest. Did you see? They know they're leaving TNT. Did you see last night or the night before? I mean, Shaq's just like,
Shaq.
he goes, it doesn't matter. We're all getting fired. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like they don't care one bit anymore. It's fantastic.
It's
Do y'all
good.
remember when he was the guest picker on College Game Day?
Charles or Shaq?
Charles Barkley was a
Obviously
few
down
years
in
ago.
Auburn.
Was that Iron Ball?
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it was like Florida State was the matchup they were picking, and they get to Charles, and he goes, "Oh, that's like two ugly girls fighting."
Yeah.
He's got a way
he was
with
bad.
words. He's got a way with words.
Yeah. Can you give us a Trump one?
Yeah,
'Cause
let's
those are always
hear the
fun.
Trump.
Yeah, I haven't seen what he's been saying lately, but he's I'm sure everyone tries to intimidate him. No, excuse me. Um, I'd have to think about it a little more.
That's okay.
I like how your mouth kind of went over to the side there.
Yeah.
to do it.
We're gonna
That's good.
meet up at some point this year, Will. The three of us. We're gonna have a few pops, and then we're gonna really we'll get the long version.
Yeah,
of all of these.
I
Put you
can
on
do
the
a lot
spot.
of people that like friends of mine, I can imitate some of those guys pretty well, but no one would know who they were.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to these couple of beers and getting really into the weeds here with this. This will be fun.
Okay.
All right. Next one. Pace of play on the PGA Tour has been a popular topic as of late. It's rather slow out there. So does that give you time to work on the Wim Hof breathing technique?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
In with peace, out with stress.
Oh, I like this, Will. I need to hear more about this.
Wim Hof. Have you ever heard of him, Drew?
No, actually, Colt just told me about him 10 minutes before I came over here today, so I don't know anything. But tell me everything.
I think I
I'm
know where
already
you heard
into
about
it.
this from, Colt.
Well, of course. But I actually
me and
have
my
heard of this guy
assistant-
before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's awesome. Me and my assistant coach in college, Jim Douglas, would talk about Wim Hof, and you can go on YouTube and find his breathing exercises, and I'm a believer in them. I mean, they're great. 10 minutes, and I can tell a difference if I do them or not, for sure.
And he's like the ice bath guy, right? Like he's
Yeah, he does some crazy stuff. Like I think he ran a marathon in Antarctica, and
What?
he does this crazy stuff in cold water, and he credits his all to his breathing and his cold exposure.
I don't think he'll be joining us at a Georgia tailgate anytime soon.
No.
I got to check this dude out. What was it? In with the peace? What was it?
In with peace, out with stress.
I like that.
Watch it on YouTube.
I like that. Never heard of this guy, but I dig him.
You'll win the 4-ball if you start doing it.
Oh,
Shit.
okay.
Okay, Willie, say less. I'm on this dude. What's his name? What's his last
Are you playing this year?
Oh, yeah. We'll be back, dude. We got to try to make this thing
good.
right one time, before we
I
shut
got
her
some
down.
buddies playing in it.
You do? I played against the kid, Carter Laughlin. Were you on? You're older than him. He's there
I
right
missed him
now.
on the team, but I know him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
great
Did
kid.
y'all beat them?
We played him and Wells something from Vanderbilt a couple years ago, a year or two ago. Great dudes, by
Okay.
the way. That Carter I still talk
Yeah.
to. What a little stud he is. I'm rooting for him.
Mm-hmm.
Rooting for
Yeah.
him. All right, we'll keep it in Athens here. I've just been told to ask you to talk to me about the Woodford in Athens.
Oh,
Yeah.
great bar.
Oh, ball. Okay, that makes sense.
We spent some time there in college. It's a good spot. Good gathering spot.
Is that like the go-to spot in Athens, you would say, or at least for you?
Yeah, that was ours. Like junior, senior year, that was ours. There's a bunch of them. But that was probably the main one. Definitely where you would end up there for sure.
What was the freshman
I
bar?
like that. Yeah.
Double barrel,
See, I love that
he's
you
got
know
it.
it.
or I think
I've been
Bourbon Street.
I've been to Athens
Oh.
once,
Bourbon Street.
and I've been to Athens once, and they said go to Bourbon Street. It's like a Tuesday night or whatever, and a bunch of us went in there. We had 10 beers and 10 shots, and the guy's like, "That'll be like $28." And I was like, "No, I'm paying for everything." They're like, $28. I'm like, "This is the greatest place in the world." I'm from Dallas. That would have been $200. I love this place.
Yeah.
Hey, you come
Yeah.
back to Phoenix, Will?
What
You
were
go
you
to
there
Bourbon
for?
Street also.
When we had the Corn Ferry Tour event there.
Oh yeah, at the UGA course.
Yeah, so I think I was our first year. Jamie Lovemark and I actually shared one of those game day suites right there close to campus, and then
Right
the
downtown.
UGA course. Yeah,
Look at you.
we had a blast. I don't think I played very well,
man.
but we enjoyed ourselves.
Oh, can I ask a follow-up? I heard about this place. I don't know if it still exists or even if it ever did, but rumor on the street was there used to be a bar in Athens and they did a deal, penny beers. But as soon as the first person went to the bathroom, the deal was off. And so they said they would have people like in big dudes in front of the bathroom door, like, you ain't pissing. Is that true?
Not when I was in school. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, could be. It's exciting a little bit though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Can you imagine how mad your friends would be at you if you're the one who broke the seal?
That's what I mean,
No,
you're
you can't
letting
be
down
that
a
guy.
whole bar.
God, that would suck. All right, next one. So we've had a lot of you Georgia guys on. There are some real fans, which I've come to find out you are a real fan. But other than yourself, like, who is the guy out on the PGA Tour who's the biggest Georgia Bulldog fan who takes losses the worst? Which y'all don't have many.
Let me think. I mean, Harris gets into it pretty good. Like he knows about like recruiting and stuff, which is probably even above me. So hopefully I can get to his level.
All right. There's a bunch
I
of
like
them.
that. I like the
Probably
passion.
Harris.
Yeah. I like
No,
the
no
passion.
one gets too crazy, but it's fun for us, you know.
Well, I've seen some of those Alabama fans throw temper tantrums and leave when we're out watching games. So I just wondering where y'all stood on that.
Yeah, we can get mad, but we've had some stuff to cheer about, which is good.
Yeah, you've
lot.
only had to be mad about once a year for the last 5 years. So, it's good for you. It builds character.
What was it? 65-7? Just for good measure?
28,
One last
24
time?
last time. I was right there, dude. It's
That
just
was the
a couple
score.
of bad calls go our way. Shit looks a whole lot different.
Georgia scores
I
65
think our
on the
players
field and on
were-
the course.
Oh, God.
Our players were eating
I know.
food
That was
from
disrespectful.
the suites on the sidelines
Show
in
a
the
little
third
respect.
quarter or something.
Show a little respect for the game. They were eating chicken wings from the fans gave them to them. And I was like, God damn, we're just about to mount our comeback. Oh, God. All right, that's perfect. Leads into my next one. Stetson Bennett, okay? Legendary dog. Is he more likely to, in his life, A, be a starting quarterback in the National Football League, B, have the most successful car dealership in the history of Athens, Georgia? What's more likely?
Probably start for a whole year.
Yeah, just be a starter in the NFL, Stetson Bennett, or will he come back to Athens and sell $10 trillion worth of cars?
I feel like the car dealership is pretty likely.
I feel like that's the better choice, too. I think he's going to be
that might be a better choice too.
billionaire when he goes back. All you got to do is just start a dealership, throw Stetson up there, put the rings on display. A lot of Camrys being shipped around.
Yep. It'd be tough if Kirby got a dealership because then they'd compete against each other.
Yeah. Could be like the smart Bennett,
Yeah.
like Elway does back in Denver. Yeah.
Kirby's already making $12 million a year. He doesn't need to get in the car game. Let Stetson have that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's going
Last
Dealership would
one
be great.
from me. Looking back at some of the older guys at the University of Georgia on the golf program, who do you think would be a better role model for the kids, Kevin Kisner or Keith Mitchell?
Gosh, whoever answers, I'm going to get hammered for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably Kiz.
Wow. Keith, not a good role model.
Damn,
oh, my.
damn,
Do you want to
Cat.
explain?
He's a good role model.
Nope, he sucks. You chose Kiss.
I can't. Dang.
That's a loaded. You were boxed in there, Willie. That was a no-win
Was
situation.
boxed in
You
for
were boxed-
sure. I love you, Keith.
Oh, yeah, he's a good one. The youth of
awesome.
America is fucked either way if those are the ones that we're going with. All right, my last one. I need you to tell me about your most memorable experience at Johnny's Disco Ball.
Well, Johnny's Hideaway.
Oh, Hideaway. So I was told Johnny's Disco Ball.
Touching the disco ball is the most memorable experience.
Yeah, explain this to me.
It's a establishment in Atlanta, like a bar. It's kind of where we would, me and my buddies would all. It's kind of like the Woodford of Atlanta. We would always end up there if we went out on the town. I haven't been there in a while, but it's always a good time if you go there. It's there's some characters in there.
And you touch the disco
Yeah,
ball?
What's this disco ball touching situation?
You can, but you can't get kicked out if you touch it. So it's always kind of tough, but it's right there. It's a fun place to dance and drink and sit, and there's some characters.
Dance and
Some
drink
place
and
to
sit.
drink.
That's good
Yeah.
shit. All that's fun. All that stuff.
Yeah,
I thought
love
you
you should
touched the
go
ball
during
or
the tour
something.
championship if y'all are here.
I'll come down.
Twist
I'll take
my arm.
Margot Robbie with me
Yeah,
if she's not busy.
I don't think she would go there.
I love it. Will, man, well, we're pumped for you, dude. Great playing
Yes.
at the WM Phoenix Open. Looking forward to seeing what you do the rest of your rookie year. This has been a blast, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Thank you guys for having me on. Keep up the good work with the show.
Our new favorite
got it.
player on tour, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Mitchell, you suck.
Oh, dang.
Thank you, Will.
All right.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, that was Will Chandler joining us on Golf Subpar. Such a great story from the WM Phoenix Open. This is what I've always been a fan of Monday qualifiers. I think you get those guys who might not have any status, could be a caddy at a local club, get through, get to play at a PGA Tour event, let alone the most attended PGA Tour event, to play in that stage with world number one, Will Chandler, finishing top 10. Incredible story. I am so sad. I hope they change their mind on getting rid of the Monday qualifiers. And it's not all over. It's just certain events, but WM being one of those. I really hope they take that back, because these are the stories we love.
Yeah, and all three guys that got in at Pinnacle Peak were PGA Tour members, just not getting in because nobody got in off the Korn Ferry list. Such a brutal category to play out of, especially in a year where they're cutting it to 100 cards. But I am a huge Will Chandler fan. Did not know Will whatsoever before the week. Talked to him before the Monday qualifier. After he Monday qualified in, we spoke some more. He is about as likable as a guy as you can have out there. And the fact that his college career wasn't the greatest in the world, but yet he kept at it. Something clicked, a year or two ago, and bam, here he goes. He's an easy one to root for. I hope he has a big year. Hell of a putter, by the way. Fills it up. And the impressions, we're gonna get him back. We're gonna need another round of the impressions.
We need some longer.
We only got like 2 or 3 words out of the
Yeah.
impressions. Willie, I feel like you got more tucked in there that you're not showing us. So we'll get somewhere, have a couple pops, maybe turn on the camera, and see what he's got then. But
I thought
respect to him. He's a good dude, man.
I thought his George W. was the best, even though they were all rather short. I like the George W. I'm also very interested to hear Cashmere Keith Mitchell's thoughts on who's the better role model for young Bulldogs, him or Kevin Kisner. And he went with Kiz.
Yeah, that was a shocking upset.
Tough look, Keith.
Shocking.
You want to talk about something,
Keith,
maybe?
you got to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself some tough questions.
Yeah. But Will Chandler, man, we're rooting for you. Awesome start to your rookie season on the PGA Tour. Wishing you the best of luck this season.
We got one last word from our boys over at Zone Nicotine, the best nicotine in the game. This product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale is prohibited. Introducing Zone Nicotine pouches, the perfect balance of unparalleled comfort, longer-lasting flavor, and nicotine that satisfies. Whether you're zoning in for an important putt or zoning out after a tough day at work, Zone gets you there faster and keeps you there longer. Available in 7 flavors and in 6 and 9 milligram strengths. Find Zone at zonepouches.com and retailers near you. Own your Zone with Zone Nicotine pouches, just like the Kachuk brothers.
Yes.
Yes.
4 nations,
Root
zone
hard.
in.
America, Canada, running it back. Thursday, Beantown.
Let's
I'm
go,
a big
America.
hockey guy. I'm not just a hockey player. I'm a hockey fan now, too.
I can't wait for that game. It's going to be awesome. And congratulations to Ludwig Oberg once again. His caddy, Joe Scovrin. Both have been guests on the show. Pumped for y'all. It was a hell of a West Coast swing. I've got 6 weeks off until the Masters now, Sleaze. You're going to be seeing a lot of me, unfortunately.
That's,
It's
wow,
bad for
here
you.
we go. 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Time to dial in the game.
Oh, bombs.
Yep, smash.
Long. Yep, all of it.
All right.
All of it.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you on next week's Subpar.